You're listening to the Hult Center podcast, and today I am speaking with Abigail Lapell. She's going to be at the Hult Center Thursday, October 30th, and we're super excited. How's it going?
Great. I'm super excited to come visit.
And this is going to be part of a full U.S. tour.
Exactly. Yeah, I have some dates in the Pacific Northwest for the first time, actually. So I'm really
Cool.
looking forward to it.
Very nice. And so let's kind of start at the beginning, your origin story. How did you get started? Who inspired you? This is not the being a musician and a songwriter is not the easiest road to take. So, yeah,
Yeah, I feel like I always loved singing. So for me, that's like very primary. And I just have been singing and making up songs as long as I can remember. So at some point, decided to start playing guitar to just kind of complement um, my ability to write more songs. And I would always like recruit other little kids to come in to come and sing with me. Um, so yeah, singing is it's a real passion, and I guess I can't really remember a time before that, but I I've spent a lot of time living in Montreal. We were just talking about Montreal connections, and yeah, I sort of spent my formative years there in my 20s, like playing in a lot of different bands and kind of doing my own songwriter project to a lesser extent, and um, recording like very informally with friends. And it wasn't until maybe 10 years ago I started kind of releasing my own records under my own name and touring a little bit. And then the last, I guess, 5 years or so, it's become, kind of taken on a life of its own and become a full-time thing. But I think I would just be singing and writing songs no matter what life threw my way. So, and now actually I just had a baby this year, so I've been singing to him like nonstop and writing a lot of extremely silly songs. So hopefully I can pass that on to the next generation.
yeah, that's a nice segue into this. So I was gonna say you've been busy since it looks like 17
Hmm.
ish. You got 5 albums, won some awards. You won the best children's album of the year from the Canadian Folk Music Awards, and you became a mom. So how you doing?
Yeah, really good. It was good timing for the children's album. I recorded a record of lullabies, and they're all traditional songs from around the world. I didn't particularly think of it as a kids album. I just thought it was like for people with insomnia and
Hmm.
people that like a lot of them are quite dark actually. They're sort of these strange, sometimes kind of twisted, kind of fairy tale type
It's
songs.
as those
And
things tend to be. Yeah.
exactly. So I thought I mean, I figured maybe kids will like it if they're like I was, like a weird little kid. But anyway, all that to say, so it was really fun. Yeah, getting to go to the Canadian Folk Awards, which, if people don't know, it's an award for folk music in Canada. And I brought my baby to that, so that was kind of a full circle moment.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw the picture on Instagram where you're holding a baby and holding an award.
Exactly.
It's
I think
very nice.
that picture really encapsulates the last year or so.
Yeah, no, that's pretty awesome. Um, and how are you, other than winning that award, just in general, I mean, that's a lot of life as far
Hmm.
as, everything
Yeah,
going on. So,
yeah, it's been really cool. I released an album last spring called Anniversary. That's all love song albums. And that album was nominated for a Juno Award, which is like the Canadian Grammys. And it was again sort of it fit in with that theme because it was an album of songs. They're love songs, but they're, songs about growing old together and maybe again kind of the darker side of relationships and partnerships. And so anyway, it felt like that kind of fit in with that trajectory. And then I got to go to the Juno Awards with my baby and my partner. And um, so on the tour this fall, I'm going to be playing a lot of tunes from that record. And yeah, I don't know. It's been really busy, but it's fun. I mean, having a little baby, traveling and touring, we've been on the road a lot, and that's actually pretty chill compared to like as they get older, apparently it becomes more problematic. But for now, I don't know, it's been actually pretty nice. traveling with him, and yeah, it's a lot of changes, a lot of transitions,
Yeah.
but our life is so chaotic. I sometimes think because people talk about having kids, like it's so crazy and like your schedule is never the same, and I sort of sometimes feel like our schedule was so bonkers already. Like we're always jet lagged and like waking up at weird times to catch planes and stuff. So in a way, it's like a superpower. I'm just, you know, I'm used to never getting any sleep.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's anyway, it's been fun. I don't remember what the question was,
Well,
but
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. It was just
it's been a
how
nice
how are
time.
things going? Yeah. No,
Yeah,
I have two boys, a 9 and a 5-year old, so I can say that it gets a little crazier.
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
and two, they say one is one and two is 10 or something like
Yeah.
that. Like it's exponential. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think we're gonna stick with one.
Right on. So let's chat about Anniversary. Its production, its challenges, its vibes, the risks that you took. What can you tell me about these songs?
Well, like I said, it was all songs loosely based on the theme of love and relationships. And so it was my first time writing an album with kind of a theme like that in mind.
Hmm.
And that was a really interesting way to approach the project, having that kind of as a scaffolding to work with. And then for the recording, I ended up working with a friend of mine, Tony Dekker, from a really great band called Great Lake Swimmers, and he's done a lot of unusual recording, sort of in non-traditional spaces. Like he's recorded his band in a grain silo or like in an old town hall or something like that.
To get those
Um,
cool echoes and whatnot. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Like really acoustically kind of
Yeah.
interesting spaces, reverberant spaces, and that, to be honest, that really freaked me out. I felt like it was out of my comfort zone. I and we had been chatting about it for a while. Like we kind of started talking a few years back about um, him producing because he's produced his own band, all of
Hmm.
their music, but he hadn't worked with really another artist in that capacity. So anyway, so he found this old church and sort of put everything together and did um, such a beautiful job, sort of everything from like going through the songs together and talking about lyrics and song structures. He like came to our rehearsals with the band and all the way through to like guiding the sessions and mixing. And it was a really great collaboration. It was my first time working with sort of that level of involvement from a
Hmm.
producer and also from with another artist. And um, it was really beautiful. It ended up being so fun, actually. Despite my reservations, it was such an, like you said, very like echoey, nice reverby space. And so, especially as a singer, it's like
Hmm.
really special to be able to actually sing out and have that live performance captured. Most of the songs we recorded live off the floor, so all sort of in the room together with
Yeah.
no separation and no headphones. And yeah, it was really special. And once again, with the theme of love songs, it was cool being in this old church, like 200-year-old church, which where I live, that's considered like really about as old as it gets. And
Hmm.
um there's like an old cemetery out back where we would go for walks. It was kind of in the dead of winter, and it really suited a lot of the themes of the album, of kind of life milestones. And actually, someone wandered in. It was sort of ghostly. One day, someone kind of wandered in. We forgot to lock the door, and this old lady came into the church, and she started telling the story how she had gotten married there like 60 years earlier. And um, anyway, after that we locked the door, but it was a really cool space, and just yeah, really really special album to me.
Nice.
And again, with this sort of having so many life transitions personally in the last couple of years, it really felt like, yeah, it really captured a lot of that in those songs and those recordings.
Nice. Is there a song in particular that, when you played it back for the first time, you were like, "Oh, that's the one"?
Oh, that's an interesting question. I mean, the title track anniversary song I was really proud of. There were all these old instruments in the church, so we sort of tried to use them.
Oh,
A
cool.
bunch of organs, like huge, one really big kind of church-sized organ where it's like the whole church is
Like
basically
they
a,
built it around the organ, is that right?
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
Like it's
yeah.
a, what's the word? Like a chamber, acoustic chamber. And And then that song, we found this old harpsichord in the church, and um, the piano player on the record, Tanya Gill, who's a wonderful Toronto musician, she managed to play this little riff in the anniversary song. We were kind of just playing around, and I guess that was one thing too. It ended up being very playful, like being not in the confines of a traditional studio. So we would just kind of try stuff,
Hmm.
and playing that harpsichord is really challenging too, because just the physics of it, like you're like there's kind of a delay between the action is very odd. Like when you press the key down, it's not it's not like the same as a piano, I guess.
Yeah.
But anyway, she played this beautiful part, and the first time I heard it, I thought, wow, that's really interesting, and not something you necessarily hear in a lot of folk rock music.
Hmm. I'm uh I'm a sucker for footsteps, I think, and stars. Those are my two standouts. Um,
Yeah, I was gonna say actually on the topic of the church organ, the Footsteps song also was one of my favorites, and we had this another moment where we were just kind of playing around with the organs, and we discovered if you hold down, I know this is not a visual medium, but like if you hold down the keys like this and then switch the organ off, it would make this like really haunting, like sort of decay, like this descending. The notes would just kind of slowly fade out and
okay.
descend, and like so at the end of that. So the whole time during the recording sessions, we were like, we gotta use that somewhere.
Hmm.
And we ended up that footstep song has so many organs and lots of really big bassy organ stuff, and then the very last thing you hear is this like chord that um it's almost like a minute long on the album. It's like, it was a bit of a controversial choice, but it's just you just hear this long decay, like wheezing kind of death rattle of the organ fading out at the end of that song. So yeah, anyway, it's a bit of a deep cut, but
Yeah.
people can check that out. It'll make sense when you hear it. And yeah, it's that was such a beautiful thing to be able to include.
It's a really, really good song. And on the kind of did like a deluxe version of this release too that just came out, and then you have
Hmm.
some stripped down versions of these songs, which are more reminiscent of like Getaway, like some of your older albums. So,
Yeah,
did you write the songs in that way, or did you write them like with a full band, and then you're like, oh, I want to kind of like break these down a little bit?
more so the former. I wrote them. I sort of planned it. Actually, I wanted these songs to be a little more flexible because I'm
Hmm.
often touring with a full band. Sometimes I'm touring solo, sometimes with a duo. And I actually had the idea of while I was writing the songs that I wanted them to be flexible and be able to be kind of amphibious and have acoustic versions that would
Hmm.
work on live as well as the full band, and then the recording that's a little more extra.
Hmm.
So yeah, it was really fun, and some of those tunes too on the deluxe edition are duos with Tony singing and playing guitar, and um, so yeah, they were sort of. I feel like those acoustic versions definitely came about first because I tend to write. I tend to be a bit of a
Hmm.
loner and write alone. So yeah, it was cool to be able to capture that. And we went back to the church actually and recorded that stuff.
Oh, cool.
Hmm.
All right, so you capture them in the same place. That's pretty neat.
Exactly.
On the subject of touring, what do you like to make time for? On this adventure, other than playing in front of people.
Yeah, I'm always trying to find a swimming hole wherever I go.
Nice.
So I'm gonna be. Let me look at this. I'm gonna be in your neighborhood in October, November. Might be a little
Might
chilly.
be a little cold.
I I can make it work. We were just out on the East Coast, actually in Prince Edward Island and Nova Scotia. So we swim
Oh,
in
I
the ocean.
love Nova Scotia.
Oh, so beautiful. And I
So
took my
beautiful.
baby. I was like, we got to go in the ocean. It was extremely windy. So we're getting like whipped with sand, red, no PEI sand. And anyways, it was beautiful. So yeah, trying to always just like trying to go swimming, trying to find time to take a walk because I'm just like sitting in the car all day.
Hmm.
Those are usually the big highlights for me. And people, I mean, it's on tour. You often don't have a lot of free time. So people are always
It's true.
recommending like some local thing you got to check out. And I'm like, I just want to be in like a forest or something.
Yeah.
Just like taking a little
We
stroll.
got we
Or
got some stuff really close to the Hult Center.
oh, I'm so
So
excited. Yeah, it's
yeah.
gonna be beautiful. I want to see some big. big trees.
Yeah, we got some
Do
big
you have
trees
big?
around.
Yes. And maybe
Yeah.
some. I'm sure it'll be like rainy, right?
It'll probably be
That's
rainy. We're
that's
right on
okay.
the water, so there's a couple like
Uh,
trails right on the water right nearby. So pretty
Oregon
close.
trails.
Yes.
Amazing. Okay, can't wait.
What is your favorite song to play live? Your own or someone else's?
Oh man, that's a tough question. I one of the songs from Anniversary, "Wait Up." Um, that's a fun one because it's just a little more. It's a little more upbeat, and it was kind of an unexpected fan favorite. And my band always requests it. Like if I'm making a set list, they're always like, "Oh, you gotta do Wait Up." So yeah, that's definitely become at least it's one of their favorites.
Okay. And favorite ice cream?
Mint chocolate chip.
That's the right answer.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. Yeah. There's no other. An album that you need to listen to cover.
Dark Side of the Moon. That's a good cover to cover.
Yeah.
I tend to be like a full album person, but yeah, I'll say that one.
Good. Favorite movie?
I don't. That's a tough one. I was
Yeah.
just talking to someone about the film Amadeus, the
Oh
Milos
yeah.
Forman movie. I don't know how it came up, but we were talking about it, and I said, that's one of my favorite movies. I haven't seen it in a long time, so I'm gonna put that one in there. Oh, and it's on the musical theme too, so
Yeah.
perfect.
No, that's a great movie. Embarrassing song that you like to belt out in the car or the shower or you know.
That would probably be my own song. Nothing's more embarrassing than that. Um, or like I was thinking about like songs that I just sing to my child. Oh, what was I singing? Um, he really likes the song "Jump" by Van Halen, so
Oh yeah.
I've been singing that, and then I like jump. I like make him
Yep.
jump. Anyway, it's a whole thing.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
And then, are you nervous until the first chord, or what's?
hmm
Yeah.
And beyond.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
That's
Is
good
there
though.
any point that you are not nervous on stage?
I don't know. I think if I think I'm always a little anxious, but like in a not in a bad way. It's
Yeah.
just I'm sort of excited and like have that kind of nervous energy. I feel like I need that maybe
Yeah.
to bring my A game.
I get that. Abigail, thanks so much for chatting. We're excited to have you at the Hult Center on Thursday, October 30th, and I think I'm very excited to see it live. It's going to be a good time.
Awesome. Can't wait.
Take care.
You too. I don't know if that was part of it. Sure.